talk, squirrel. My master is good and smart.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that short clip from the movie Pixar. It's a great little scene that illustrates, I think, something that's true about our life of prayer. Sometimes we're like that dog. We're talking and doing into prayer, and then all of a sudden we get distracted to something like a squirrel or some other thing that takes our mind away from what we're trying to do in our prayer to God. And so I want to address a couple things that you could do to help with that today. The first thing you might try when you are distracted in prayer and you're trying to pray to God and your mind is wandering, perhaps it's wandering off to the things that you've got to do this day. Maybe it's something that's on your mind that happened the previous day and your mind is just wandering. First thing you got to do is realize, okay, that's happening right now. My mind is wandering. What am I going to do with that? Second is take it captive. Paul says we take every thought captive and make it subject to Christ. And just imagine that idea of your wandering mind, take it captive and give it to God. So for example, if your mind begins to wander off on, oh man, I've got the grocery shopping to do today, I've got to stop by and see that person, or I forgot to mail in that thing. Pray to God about those things. Lift those up to Him. Say, Lord, my mind is wandering. I've got a lot of things going on today. Help me get that grocery shopping done. And I pray that you'll settle my mind down regarding this thing I've got to do. So the idea is go with it a little bit, but capture it and then bring your heart back toward what you're trying to focus on in prayer. Another thing you might try is to really organize how you're going to be praying to God. A few weeks ago we talked about using the ACTS method, and that's more related to just the basic components of your prayer. But I ran into something that I think could be very helpful, and I want to talk about it now. The way that this works is that basically you start here in the middle at the target in the center, and that's my soul. You start with praying for your life in God that day. God, help me to have my life focused on you. Maybe it's like we prayed last week, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. So you start with your soul, because if you're not right with God, it's going to be hard for you to intercede for others. So you pray that your soul will be right. Then you move outward a little bit to your household, the people that are in your home. You pray specifically for your wife or your husband or your children by name, and you pray for them. Then you move out another concentric circle to the house of God. Pray for folks in the church and maybe people specifically that come to your mind. And then move out to neighbors and friends, people that are further out of the circle in terms of your relationships, and pray for people that are in your neighborhood. And then finally in the community and leaders, and then further out would be like national leaders or the world in general. And so that's a way of starting here and moving out there, and way to organize your prayer life. Moving down this direction is more in the kind of spiritual realm that you might pray for. So you pray for your soul, but also your extended family, churches that are in the area, local disciple making of your neighbors and friends, and then out here missions and world revival. So basically the idea is start here and move out that way in your prayer, and see if that doesn't enrich and keep you focused on what God wants you to be praying about in your walk with Him. Have a great day, and maybe this will help you stay focused in your prayer. Squirrel.